Hello all. Welcome to the fifth session of private equity. On last session we have discussed about the key components of the waterfall into theory part, and I linked this all the component with the graph on previous session. So now we'll discuss how many types are there, in which I create a case study where the strong profit is there in the PE fund, or the difficult to difficult to investment, or something complex structure. So we'll discuss one by one with an example in the Excel file. So be in patient on this part, because one by one we'll explain. So first is, before going to the any case study of a this in private equity, I have designed one simple example how I calculate all this thing, then we'll relate with the case study. So I am going to the Excel file. So this is a simple example. Let's assume a LP invest 10 million, preferred return is 8% and carried interest is 20%. Okay, so preferred return always goes to the LP. Sorry, LP. Preferred return goes to the LP, and carried interest goes to the GP. Accordingly, we have to do. So investment is 10 million. Fund grow to the 15 million, means 5 million is the profit. So I note down here profit is 5 million. Preferred return is 8% on the 10 million. So preferred return always be on the initial investment given by the LP. So 5, there is 0.8 is a preferred return, means 0.8 million per year is the preferred return. So it goes to the LP. Remaining profit out of 5, 0.8 is distributed to the as a preferred return to the LP. So what is remaining now is 4.2. So 4.2 will distribute it among the LP and GP. So how is distributed? Between 80:20 ratio. If you calculate this 4.2 multiply by 80%, then you will get a 3.36 million, and remaining are goes to the GP. So this how the calculation has been done. So we have designed one simple example. Now I am moving to the scenario part. What scenarios are there? Okay, so first scenario is successful buyout. Successful buyout means it's refer the high strong performance of this firm. The fund earn more profit or expected profit. So in so example is the PE fund acquire a company of 50 million, exit at 120 million after 5 years, means 70 million profit are there. GP earn a strong performance fee 9.4 million due to the high return. So how this relate with our example? So we'll move to the example part in the Excel. So strong performance is there. Okay, already we discussed. So scenario is a PE fund acquire company 50 million and exit at 120 million after 5 years. So this all discussing about the 5-year terms. Okay, so let's understand. So again the preferred return goes to the LP, and the carried interest goes to the GP. So here the example is exit at 120 million, return on capital is 50 million. So 50 million are LP has invested. Okay, then the preferred return for 8%. So the 23 million how it came? For 5 years came. For example 50 million, if you calculate 8%, 4 million will come. Then agar next year, this is the first year scenario, so I write down here first year. So in first year, this is the scenario. highlight here. Okay, second year they will charge, second year the interest will be charged on 54 million, then 4.2. Likewise they calculate for the third year, fourth year and the fifth year. So total around 23 will come. So 23 million as distributed to the LP. So here LP get this. So on 50 million for 5 years. So in the cumulative basis it is distributed to the LP. Then out of 70 million, 70 million is the profit for them. Out of 70 million, so I write down here profit. Out of 70 million, 23 million is gone as a preferred return to the LP. Preferred return to the LP. To the LP. Then is remaining balances. Remaining balances 47 million. So 47 is distributed among the LP and GP. So what will be the ratio? 80% and 20%. So 80% are distributed to the LP, which is 37.6 million. 37.6 million. And remaining 9.4 is left with the GP. So how this is how the profit has been distributed among the LP and GP, and how we calculated this interest in the cumulative basis. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate when you get such type of scenario. Okay, so let's move to the second case study in PPT. The case study is difficult investment. A PE invests in 50 million in company but exit is 60 million after 5 years. GP received no carried interest as fund is underperformed. Yes, if 5 years they invest 50 million and they get only 20% in the 5 years, so many things will be difficult to distribute. So how it get distributed and who get a benefit, who not get benefit, we'll discuss in this. So we refer as a difficult investment as a lower return. Okay, so in this scenario we already discussed 50 million they invest for 5 years, 60 million they get after 5 years. So preferred return goes to the LP and the carried interest goes to the GP. So distribution is exit process. So 60 million is a exit. Return of capital 50 million they invested. Preferred return is 23 million. So this how we calculated for the 5 years in the cumulative basis that I have shown you in the previous example how I calculated. So 23 million. So here out of 10 million profit, 23 is gone for the only for interest to the LP. So they are in the negative now, 13 million. Why? Because 10 million profit, 23 is gone to the LP as a interest. So they got a loss. So LP got a loss of a 13 million and there is no profit for the GP or no carried interest for the GP because this fund get a loss on this part. So first preference goes to the LP whatever the profit is there, and then if profit is remaining then it goes to the GP. So this is a logic. So GP receive no carried interest as the fund underperform. LP get capital back but do not earn the full preferred return also because they earn only 10 million. How they will distribute preferred return? So he get a 10 million and remaining 13 million is a loss. So that's why I show in the negative. So now I am moving to the third example case study, the complex structure. Sometimes the structure is very complex to distribute the profit or distribution of the profit. So how will distribute? A PE fund tight waterfall structure, LP get 8% preferred, GP receive 50% of profit until it reaches to 10% credit interest, and above this profit are split into the 80/20. So how this is done, will calculate here. Okay, so already we done. LP get preferred interest, GP get 50% of profit until there is 10% credit. Sometimes the terms will be add, the condition will be add. So this condition is very complex to calculate. So how we have designed this, how we can easy out. Above this is a profit 28A. So this is decided, investment is this, exit is this. So here the 50 million is the profit, because the investment is 50 million and exit is the 20 million. So how this will be done? Return on capital 23 million they have collected as a preferred return. LP get this return. So out of 50 million, of the profit, so I write down all 50 million of profit, 23 is gone for the preferred return to the LP. Preferred return to the LP. So now we remain with the 27 million. So how we distribute this 27 million? So here the term is that GP get 50% of profit until they receive 10% of credit interest. Okay, so GP receive the profit. This out of this, how we calculated? Okay, so catch this calculation called as catch up. So catch up GP 50% until 10% credit on the 50 million. So on 50 million, the 10% goes to the directly to the GP, because this is the agreement between them. So how it's done? Okay, so for example, if 50 million is the profit, okay, and out of he receive, and he condition is the 50% profit should be there. So 50% profit is be there. So 50% profit is done, then the GP will receive 10% of a profit. So 10% of a 50 million is 5 million. So 5 million goes to the GP as a whatever the condition he has put. So the fund achieve the condition, so that's why it goes to the GP. So I write here GP receive as per condition 5 million. So now is how many amount left? 23 million is amount is left. So 23 million again distributed between the LP and GP in the ratio of a 80:10. So if you calculate 23 on 80%, so 17.6 and 4.4. So this how the example is there. We have designed this short example for each scenario of strong performance, low performance in the complex structure. I believe this is just a structure we have given. I am end with my session. If you have any questions, you can just ping us in the comment section. We'll meet on the next session. So next session is also impact. We'll discuss about the impact and effect of the private equity in the fund. We'll discuss this topic, and is come in the compliance and regulatory. So be touch with this session. All the previous session will attach the link as well, so you can go through it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll meet you on the next video.